I care about the financial crisis because it's painful. It's painful to wake up every day and have to read about how unemployment continues to rise, how universities everywhere are going to be forced to raise tuition next year, how companies nationwide are scaling back on their summer internship programs. I mean, friends of mine are getting a second job on top of all their coursework to pay off student loans. Two of them had jobs locked down for after graduation and then lost them when the entire financial sector imploded. But as sad as it is to say, in a recession, stories like these and ones that are actually much, much worse are the norm. And you actually become numb to them in some sense. It's horrific, but now you constantly hear about companies writing off hundreds of millions of dollars in losses, supposed investment gods stealing $50 billion from charities and other honest people. And these numbers are so astronomical that one day you hear that somebody loses $10 million or another 100 people lose their homes in the neighborhood, and all of a sudden it doesn't resonate because you have been drowned in this sorrow, in this horrific uncertainty of what the future holds. So I care about the financial crisis because I can't stand being numb to these travesties. And the worst part is, I have to sit here and watch while adults are just screwing us, my friends, my generation. Our future is disintegrating in front of our eyes because of the greed and unethical practices of the people that are supposed to teach us how to act. And yet there are too many examples of despicable, amoral behavior ruining this country and hurting decent people. The housing crisis was created by corrupt workers who are handing out $2 million mortgages to people that barely make $12,000 a year. Now, I think back to kindergarten, and some of the most important lessons I was ever taught was never to steal, never lie, never cheat. And now, that seems like that is what lots of adults everywhere are actually doing just to make a profit. So I care about the financial crisis because I want to reaffirm that these values that I was taught in kindergarten and that are supposed to be held in the utmost importance actually are again. And lastly, I care about the financial crisis because it's time someone stopped pushing responsibility onto the next generation. For the last couple of years, the government has cut taxes and increased spending, and now our national deficit is spiraling out of control. And in order to fund our expensive spending spree, our leaders constantly borrow and cut various social programs. Our generation is going to inherit, by far, the largest national debt in our country's history. And I can tell you that none of us had any say in the matter. Most politicians seem fine with pushing today's problems aside so they become the next person's problems, rather than actually just working to fix them. And because of this, adults everywhere are digging the nation that I will inherit into a deeper and deeper hole and are happy to pass the blame onto somebody else. So finally, I care about the financial crisis because that trend more than anything else needs to stop. And maybe, hopefully, if I am strong enough to finally take responsibility for my choices and these problems that no one else has, then maybe other people will also do it. And maybe, just maybe, our entire country will once again uphold the values of decency and ethics that so many people seem to have forgotten.